Hello, everybody. I'm so excited that you've decided to join me with our little workshop called Living Life on Your Own Terms. Pardon the misspell here. I realized I misspelled it just shortly after I did this creation. And it's like, oh boy, my fingers are having more fun than I am. Oh yeah, we're all in one. Anyhow, so continuing on, the whole point is that I want you to understand how to live your life on your own terms. And just in case you don't know who I am in particular, my name is Scarlo, and the reason why I'm the person to talk to about this is because there was a time I didn't live my life on my own terms. Heck, my life wasn't my own. It was controlled by other people, manipulated. I was set into a bad relationship and told that my thoughts, my intentions were not the best for me, and therefore other people could make their decisions based on what they felt was best for me. And through this, I was caught in an arranged marriage that led to human trafficking, and people struggled to really understand this, struggled to really believe that this was the truth, this was what I was talking about. And through this whole marriage part, I dealt with a lot of domestic violence and manipulation of my mind. I was told that I didn't know what I was thinking of, I didn't know what I was talking about, that I was basically a non-thinking person, that I had no understanding of who I was or what I was about. And the truth of the matter is, if people had left me alone, I was actually doing pretty good at understanding who I was, just people weren't willing to listen to me. Maybe you understand some parts of this, maybe other parts are like, what? This doesn't make any sense. I was controlled. I wasn't allowed to think for myself. There were times when I would speak up and I would make point of, this is what I'm thinking, this is where I'm coming from, etc. And people would think I was a little bit loony in the toony. Maybe you relate, maybe some things you don't. But if you feel that any part of this resonates with you, I encourage you to continue listening. So my thoughts were not allowed to be considered okay. In fact, many of my thoughts were considered not okay. Um, I allowed that to be the case and moved on. I was raised on faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these was love, is still to this day, the greatest of these is love. And I am firm on the faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love, even to this day. In fact, that has been my saving grace. And you continue with me on this journey, you will understand how these three come together and form a beautiful internal for me, and how I've helped others to do the same similar concept. Now, some basic questions that I want you to think about while I'm going through this whole process of the workshop. One, what does living life on your own terms mean to you? When do you feel the most authentic and free? What expectations from society, family, stuff, what have they had in shaping your choices so far? Maybe they've been everything that shaped your life so far. Maybe there's only been a little bit. It varies, and it's just something for you to think about. And what beliefs do you need to let go of so that you can live your most authentic self? Now, see, in my case, I had to learn to let go of a lot of different thoughts that were being put into my head, like how I needed to be, how I needed to portray myself, how I needed to act in society, how I needed to do things, how I needed to behave. I had to rethink all of this process into understanding how to live my most authentic self. Now, sometimes this can be a positive, this can be a negative. It depends on who you're around. And if those people that you are around, if they uplift you, then you found your right people. But if they bring you down, you might want to reconsider whether or not those are the people for you. There are people who have replaced their families and who have replaced their friends because they do not fit in with what works for them. Now, something that I have learned over the years, now I've been practicing this now since, well, shoot, my late husband passed in 19 and I started putting it into practice then, journaling, meditation, talking with trustworthy friends. Now, my friends have changed a little bit. They've shifted throughout time, partially because some friends could understand and other friends not so much. So it just depends. Um, for me, I had to learn who my trustworthy friends were. Another biggie that I learned over time was don't compare yourself with others. This is a killer. Comparison analysis will bring you down, rip you apart, rip you to shreds faster than anything else. So I beg you, dear friend, do not compare yourself with others, or you will really feel it internally. You have to remind yourself you are special in who you are. You have to know who you are internally, externally, in every way, shape, and form. Know who you are because you are a special person. You are a special individual. And what you are meant to do, how you are meant to do things, what you are meant to give to others, and why you are meant to give to others is going to be different from one person to the next. And you have to know that within yourself. Prayer and relaxation. I am a firm believer in prayer. You've got to have prayer and you've got to have a relaxation time. If you don't have those two to go together and relax and recoup, you are going to find that you have a challenge in life of just being at peace with yourself. And peace within yourself will make life so much easier to handle. Now, these daily practices can build reliance on peace, love, and personal happiness. Now, remember, I said peace, the peace, hope, love, all of those go together and they create that personal happiness. And that's why I am so firm on keeping these daily practices. They build that all together, they build the personal happiness and love. I can't express it enough. So, a personal values discovery. Okay. I want you to take just a quick moment on this. List your top 5 core values and some examples: freedom, creativity, love, growth, adventure. My core values are prayer, relaxation, journaling, creativity, and love, and showing those every single day to myself. Because once I show them to myself, they will come out to others. And watch, if you take those 5 core values, you put them internally, they will reflect out. Now, my next question does go to, does your current life reflect these values? Because like I said, they reflect. My mind, they reflect. Does your current life reflect these values that you've written down? And if not, then a change needs to take place internally. I can help you with those changes, but you first need to figure out those top 5 core values for yourself. What are they and how to put them to work for you? And then what areas of life feel misaligned with these values? So certain areas of your life, you might feel like they don't align with these 5 core values. And if these areas of your life don't feel like they align, adjustments are going to need to be made. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy within yourself. It's just kind of how it goes. Again, I can help you out with this if you should decide you want to. But I ask of you to just take a look at these 5 core values and really study on them. If they are really, truly your top 5, making a change for yourself to become a better person. So, detaching from worldly possessions will give you internal strength and fortitude to gain these 5 core values. Now, you might be saying, whoa, 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 Scholar, you're going from 5 core values to detaching from worldly possessions. How does this coincide? Well, it really does. And, you know, when I was going through all of my processes, I would have said the exact same thing, to be honest with you. I detached from worldly possessions at least 5 times that I can think of right off the bat. When I left the domestic violence, after my first late husband, after my second, after the next relationship I was in, after my second late husband, and then at the very end when I lost completely everything. And it really made me realize how much worldly possessions can actually pull you back from your core values and from being the best person that you need to be. It's deciding what works best for you and what makes you the best for yourself. In the process of this, it gives you internal strength to allow those things to, when you detach, when you release those to other people who might need them even more than you will gain new and more strength, more powerful things for you. Those new possessions will give to you what you need to grow and do the bigger things for you to help others and yourself at the same time. Now, to find your spiritual and inner strength. Now, I am using these kind of synonymously, the spiritual and inner strength piece here. We're talking 2 different things, and that's why we've got the 2 different arrows. Detaching from the excess or additional pieces and practicing gratitude. Now, from practicing gratitude here, we appreciate the small blessings every single day. And that's where you take those 5 pieces, the different pieces throughout the day, being grateful, being aware, being in prayer, being mindset, being aware of your daily activities, and so on. Helping others will help you in it's reciprocity. It's the gift of reciprocity. And it really does, it sounds like it's crazy, but it really does manifest itself together. I've watched it. It's absolutely mind-blowing how the gift of reciprocity, the gift of appreciating small blessings and finding gratitude every day. 5 things to be grateful for every day, and it will come back. It will come back to you. So, detaching from the excess. Now, this is a really biggie. That's the reason why I went kind of backwards from practicing gratitude, detaching from the excess, is because sometimes letting go of those material possessions can be a button pusher. I'm saying this from my own, because I realize how it is so important, so critical to be aware of those possessions, because sometimes they can be so special and so touching internally that letting them go is so hard. There have been natural disasters as of recent. I'm not going to go into them because that can be traumatizing in itself. But natural disasters that have actually destroyed material possessions. And at that point, it can find the value of your internal peace. How peaceful, how much at peace are you on your insides that you can allow the excess, the possessions, the material possessions, to let them go? And I am really and truly speaking from the heart on this one, because I know I look at where I am at. I have let go of so much stuff. I have let go of so many personal possessions that I still remember some of them and it's like, oh my goodness kind of thing. But truly and really, I feel kind of um touched on this one. So when I mention about material possessions and people losing from natural uh, situations here, I am not just speaking from myself, I'm speaking from others that I know of who have lost everything and have to start from scratch. It's a matter of that inner peace and being okay. Otherwise, it can be traumatizing. I mean, to the core, traumatizing to where every single possession that you get, you don't want to let go of it anymore because you're afraid that if you let it go, you're not going to get anything in return for it. And that's where inner peace needs to come in. Now, I'm also finding something else on this, and I'm feeling very strong in spirit to just talk about it because my two husbands, when they passed, remember, when you pass, everything that you have, all of your possessions that you have, they are there for others to have to pick up, are there for others to determine where they go to. That's why people have wills. That's why people have um, a discussion of where they want their stuff to go when they pass. And ultimately, that stuff can go anywhere people want that stuff to go because that person is no longer there to determine how it's going to be dispersed accordingly because whoever's in charge at that point gets to decide one way or the other because if you don't have a will or a last will and testament, it can all be taken away and dispersed of and disregarded, and it gets to be an utter mess. So what I guess I'm at this point trying to explain is that being aware of how much you really have in your material possessions and knowing exactly where you want it to go, making sure that it goes accordingly, keeping a last will and testament, or letting it go altogether to finding a new home, giving it to the people that you want it to go before you ever lose out on anything. It'll bring a sense of internal peace. And I am speaking from personal experience on this. Um, it really does. It brings a sense of internal peace when you just let things go. It's so hard. It's so painful. But at the same time, it's so peaceful. The when everything is free and clear, when you have everything set up in just a certain way that will turn around and be helping others as you help yourself. And so the detachment from the excess and the gratitude, you get an inner peace, but while helping others, it will help you to gain more inner peace. So they do interchange each other. And I guess that's the biggest part of it is that to gain that internal peace, having the material possessions to a point where they help others and are set for others as well as yourself, it ends up being a full circle and bringing full gratitude to everybody because those people who it helps will be in gratitude for these gifts. And you can be in gratitude that you've been able to help those people, as well as giving an internal peace that you've helped others. Now, another question. Do you rely on God's strength or on your material security in daily living? Didn't tell you this was a faith-based, right? Well, this is meant to really keep a thought process. And I don't mean this to be in like a foul sense either. Like, I know that it is defamatory in some places for God's name to be spelled out. And I do apologize if it offends anybody, first and foremost. I just want you to be aware that the strength that you rely on is so critically important. Do you rely on internal strength or the material in daily living? The material strength in daily living. Being aware of that, because there is an abundance that is there and available. There is security and there is strength, but keeping it into material possessions is going to hold you back from being able to actually get out there and do what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. So back to the very point that I was talking about from the very beginning. And this is learning to live life on your own terms. It really is key, is your daily practices. That's where it is. Journaling, meditation, talking with trustworthy friends. And again, that's a daily thing to determine, okay, is this day a day for daily trustworthy friends, or is it better to continue onward? Don't compare yourself with others. Comparison is the biggest killer in everything. Do not compare yourself with others. Do not compare your work with others. Do not compare its comparison. It just really can get you. Remind yourself on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, however long it takes to get it really in your head. Remind yourself you are special, you are worthy, you are beautiful as you are, and have so much more to experience in life. You are so special. Prayer and relaxation, just keeping in mindful prayer and in relaxation as you go through every single day. I pray that this whole session has really touched you, encouraged you, enlightened you. Please to share with me any of your thoughts in this regard, in this workshop that I have presented here. I would really like to know what your thoughts are, what your insights, input. I'm really excited to share with you as well that I am going to be doing a millionaire challenge. Now, this is a celebration of my birthday. It's a huge undertaking. I've created the Female Millionaire Challenge, and it's on IG or Instagram, female, and it's minus the E. And going on along each day, it's no charge. But to really get involved, because I do cover parts of these daily routine, the relaxation, meditation, keeping accountable with each other. The cost is anywhere from $27 to $97. A portion of the funds will be going to create a nonprofit outreach for women caught in domestic violence and human trafficking. And I'll be sharing on my YouTube channel as well. It will only be on Instagram and on YouTube to share because it's just so much involved. So I hope that this has been a delightful, wonderful workshop, and I hope that you would like to join me in celebrating my birthday millionaire challenge, and I'll let you know more about that if you're interested. Thank you so much, and you have a blessed rest of your day.